Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We got some big exciting news going on at Mopar Insiders today. I've been really researching and digging and trying to find out stuff about what's going on with the Chrysler brand at the moment. And as this video is posting to YouTube, there's an article going up and we're going to talk about that article. But I want to talk about the Chrysler brand in general. So over the past few months, if you've been watching this channel or reading Mopar Insiders, I've been very critical of the Chrysler brand, specifically CEO Chris Fuel, because there really hasn't been anything going on to celebrate the 100th anniversary. We haven't really heard anything about the future of the brand. She's hinted at a few things, and we're going to talk about that too, but there's nothing been like really official. So I ended up, just kind of expressing my thoughts and concerns. And last week I made a video because I had heard some information from one of my sources saying that, hey, Chrysler's going to do this whole social media thing and start promoting its 100th anniversary finally. And it was going to start at the New York International Auto Show, which started yesterday. And at the New York International Auto Show, Chrysler does have a display there showcasing the Chrysler 6 from 1924, the 2025 Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, and the Chrysler Halcyon Concept. So it's a start. There's a lot more that they can be done, but yesterday they kind of flooded the media site with a bunch of historical stuff. So we got some videos with Chris Fuel. We're going to watch one of those while we're talking here, but I want to go back. One of the things I've been really critical of is what's happening with the Chrysler brand. We've seen a lot of things going on, but nothing's been really, confirmed or talked about. Chris Fuel has done some interviews, but really hasn't said a lot about what's going to happen. So back in January 5th of 2022, this article I wrote for Mopar Insiders. This is about the Chrysler brand going all electric by 2028. Now, they introduced the Chrysler Airflow concept at CES back in January of 2022. And this was that day, and they announced that, hey, by 2028, the entire Chrysler brand will be totally electric. Now, things have changed. We've seen, even though EVs have been selling actually more EVs than ever, March had a record amount of EVs being sold in the U.S. The problem is EV prices, even though some of them have come down, Stellantis ones haven't. It just seems like there is still those who want EVs have embraced them. We're seeing infrastructure kind of grow, but not grow as fast as what it needs to have for everybody. But there's still pushback against EVs. And we've seen it with the Dodge Charger Daytona. We've seen a little bit with the Wagoneer S. And, it just depends on the brand. However, brands like Alfa Romeo also came out and said, hey, we're going to be an all-electric brand by 2027. Well, Chris Fuel is now the CEO of that brand for North America. And she's been talking a lot about that brand, but never about the Chrysler brand. So earlier this year, we got some supplier news saying that the Chrysler C6X, which is technically the replacement for the Chrysler Airflow concept that was supposed to make it into production, we heard on January 9th that it was suspended. Development was suspended because they didn't give a reason, but they gave the suppliers this notice here saying C6X suppliers. The C6X / in parentheses CA program, which CA was the original code name for the Chrysler Airflow program. And then when Chris Fuel decided, hey, she didn't want to go in that direction with the design, they changed it and it became C6X. Says program has been put on hold until further notice. Therefore, any spending associated with this program should be suspended immediately. So yeah, it was, if you look down here, the effective dates was until the end of January. However, we heard it went through February as well. But we didn't hear anything else about the C6X, other than we've heard rumors saying that the reason why it was suspended was because the Trump administration was coming on board. They wanted to see where it was going to go with regulations and whatnot. And we're hearing that they're doing a whole different powertrain strategy for the vehicle because the vehicle was supposed to be all electric. So it kind of sparked our interest like, hey, we're hearing rumors that, it's not going to be just electric. There's going to be some kind of hybrid or internal combustion engine in it. So what's going on with the brand? Fast forward a few days, Chris Fuel is publicly talking about the multi-energy structure that Alfa Romeo has. Now, dealers have been complaining in North America that Alfa Romeo is going all electric, and a lot of people who buy Alfa Romeos didn't want that. Sales were already limited. I mean, they have about 120 dealers, I think 100 and maybe 120 dealers across the U.S., so not many. But they only sold 8,500 vehicles last year in the U.S. So with sales keep declining for the Alfa Romeo brand, they were really worried about, hey, we're going to be selling more expensive EVs now. So Chris Fuel went out and talked about, hey, Alfa's going to adopt the same multi-energy basically strategy that they were planning on doing in Europe, which they announced probably about a month before she talked about this. So it was like December, or November, I think it was. They backed down from being all EV to saying, hey, we're going to introduce some hybrids and maybe some even internal combustion vehicles. Chris Fuel basically confirmed this for the US, and the dealers were pretty happy about that. So while she talked about that, we really didn't hear nothing from her about Chrysler until the very next day. The very next day, she went on to the Detroit News and had an interview with them, and she talked about the future of the Chrysler brand. She said the future is bright. There's products coming, and she kind of highlighted that there was some. Not only the Chrysler Pacifica was going to get basically an update for 2026, but what we were going to see was also a future sedan based on the Halcyon. So she basically said that, and while this stuff was going on, we knew that the C6X was put on a hold. We didn't know what was going on with that. So it was very interesting to hear that, hey, there's stuff in the pipeline. It's going to be coming in a couple years, but nothing's really, been said about the development of the new crossover, which has kind of been a highly anticipated vehicle because Chrysler hasn't had a new vehicle since 2017. Actually, 2016, because it came out as a 2017 model. So it left a lot of questions. And then, of course, throughout the last couple of years, we've been teased by Chrysler about a future sedan. You can see this drawing here that is actually was kind of hidden in the media notes. I picked up on it right immediately because obviously I'm a diehard Chrysler guy. And they posted this we basically get like a folder of images and stuff during the EV Day 2021 presentation. That was back, halfway through 2021. And we got this Chrysler sedan, and it looks kind of like it's based on maybe the Charger Daytona. Obviously, it's still a large platform vehicle, but you can see it's all electric, and it's very sleek looking with a short overhang, but a long hood. So that was pretty exciting. If we could get something like that, a lot of people would be happy. So we were kind of excited at the end of January, kind of hearing that news. Today, or let's put it this way. I've been wondering about what their plans were for the 100th anniversary. I was hoping that at the New York Auto Show they would say something. And I went and looked at the press schedule for the media because I got that sent because I get invited every year for press pass and stuff. And there was nothing from Chrysler. Now, I had heard about, them putting on a display and stuff, and I was like, okay, but there was no official word. So yesterday, like I said, they flooded the media site with all these pictures and a couple of videos. And Chris Fuel said something very interesting in one of the videos. That was something about multi-energy, and I was like, okay. So I reached out to my Chrysler rep, who happened to be on vacation, and I talked to the other rep, and I said, hey, I would like an official statement, about this. Is Chrysler going to be all EV, or are they going multi-energy? So I got an email last night, and it confirmed that Chrysler is ditching their all-electric plans for a multi-energy future. So here's the article that's going up on Mopar Insiders right now. So this is breaking news. Chrysler has not confirmed it until now, but it will not be going all-electric for 2028. So this should make a lot of people happy that we're worried about the Chrysler brand's directions. Instead, it's going to have internal combustion, hybrid, and electric options. So that's good news. Again, Chris Fuel sent a statement to us basically saying, I'll read it to you guys. In 2024, Stellantis began transitioning to the next generation of products that are designed to give customers the freedom of choice. Our new Stella multi-energy platforms, as well as our existing platforms, are engineered to offer a variety of powertrain options, including internal combustion, hybrid, and electric. To meet the needs of our customers and provide freedom of choice across our offerings, both Chrysler and Alfa Romeo are pursuing multi-energy powertrain strategies for our future product lineup. So that's an official quote from Chris Fuel, and basically confirming that Chrysler will not be just an electric brand going into 2028. So that's good news for a lot of people. So she did have a video that she posted yesterday that kind of went along with it. and I'll play that for you. I kind of cut down the intro because it's got music and stuff, but we'll watch it and you guys can kind of see what she says about the brand going forward.
We have had so many iconic products come to market over the last century. Think about the impact as one of the original big three in the automotive industry. We've provided products and services to customers who have fallen in love with our products and our brands over the last century. Walter Chrysler's original vision for the brand was to deliver innovative products, engineering excellence, and beautiful designs, all at an affordable price for the mainstream market. And we want to stay true to that vision that Walter Chrysler set 100 years ago. When I think about the iconic products and features that we've delivered to the market over the last 100 years, I think about the turbine car, the Hemi V8. We celebrate the fact that Chrysler is synonymous with minivans because we created that segment 42 years ago and continue to be the market leader for 3 years in a row in the minivan segment. We're celebrating 20 years of Stow and Go this year. It continues to be a class exclusive feature, allowing customers to completely stow the second and third row seats flat within the compartment, giving them a flat load floor. These have all really excited customers about the idea of driving and being connected to the Chrysler brand. I also believe that there's going to be a resurgence of the car segment. It's declined over the last few years, but as represented in the Halcyon concept, we think that there's a really interesting space that customers are really going to grasp onto with a car that is beautifully designed, that has seamlessly integrated technology, and an interior space that's really clever and versatile that gives them a lot of options. So the Halcyon, we think, is representative of both the future design direction that Chrysler's next generation products will be taking on, but also rethinks the way we deliver customer centricity and an incredible user experience that is seamless and really brings back the joy of driving. When I think about the role that Chrysler plays in our century of innovation, I'm really excited about how bright our future is. We've got a lot of new products coming over the next few years, and it's really starting with a refreshed Pacifica coming out next year, followed by a new crossover product, and then a third product that will be inspired by the Halcyon concept coming later. And so when I think about what's coming for the future with our new products, our multi-energy strategy, delivering more customer-centric solutions that better...
So you can hear right there, I'm going to ditch the audio because I don't want to get a copyright strike. But you can see that she talked, hey, there's going to be a crossover, cars are going to come back, so there will be a 300, ultimately a 300 replacement. Now, the thing is it doesn't have to be a 300. It could be several things. The Chrysler portfolio of nameplates is huge. It could be a Newport. It could be New Yorker, Imperial. It could be a bunch of different things. But we will get a Chrysler sedan for sure. So that's very exciting news. It's good to hear things that are going forward with Chrysler. For a long time, we've heard that the brand's dead. It's going to be sold off. I mean, we've heard tons of different things from all different types of media and stuff. So it's good to see that Chrysler's, planning for the future going forward. But this is the first confirmation that we have saying that no more all electric, strategy going forward. Instead, we're going to have the ability to have internal combustion. So what does that mean? It could mean a lot of things. It could mean, obviously, we've heard that the Charger is going to have a Hemi again, eventually in a couple years. By then, hopefully, we'll have a new Chrysler sedan. Maybe we'll have a Hemi-powered Chrysler sedan. We don't know yet. We don't know. All this stuff is kind of coming to the forefront of, being told. According to my sources, they haven't really gone too much forward with a sedan just yet. So there's quite a long time till we'll see a sedan. But nonetheless, the C6X should be coming out next year. even if it's with a hybrid powertrain or an internal combustion powertrain or EV powertrain. So that's exciting. So we'll get our first new product since 2017 for the Chrysler brand. And then going forward, there is plans moving forward. Why, like a lot of people think like, hey, Chrysler needs to expand its offerings. Even if they expand, to 3 vehicles, it's still better than the one that they have now. But give it some time. We're hoping that they hear more about the future of Chrysler going forward. I'm hoping to talk to Chris Fuel this summer at the Chrysler Carlisle Nationals. I know she's going to be there. I'm trying to set something up so I can actually have an interview with her, because there's a lot of things I want to talk to her about. I know she won't be able to talk about, a lot of future stuff, but I'm very curious about the brand, mainly because right now with the tariffs and stuff, Chrysler, even though it's an American brand, they don't build anything here in the US. All the minivans are built in Canada. And according to what we've heard, the C6X is planned for Windsor. So Chrysler is a full-on Canadian brand, technically. So it'll be very interesting to hear some stuff from her, some highlights going forward. But there is change. I know a lot of people have criticized, what's been going on with the brand, but hopefully this summer we'll see the new updated Chrysler Pacifica, and then we'll start seeing change going forward. So until then, make sure to check Mopar Insiders. I'll leave a link down below if you want to read my in-depth article, and make sure to check back here on the channel, hit subscribe and like, and I'll see you in the next video.